Imagine sliding into your car right now, and instead of that familiar smell of old coffee, mystery crumbs, and whatever that sticky thing on the door handle is, you're hit with the scent of fresh leather, the look of spotless carpets, and surfaces so clean they actually shine. Sounds like a dream, right? Here's the wild part. Professional detailers charge anywhere from $150 to $400 for a deep interior clean, and today I'm going to show you exactly how they do it, step by step, using techniques they'd rather keep secret because once you know this stuff, you'll never pay for detailing again. But here's the kicker that most people don't realize. A clean car interior isn't just about looks, it's about your health, your car's resale value, and believe it or not, even your safety. Stick with me because by the end of this video, your car is going to look and feel like it just rolled off the showroom floor, and I'm going to show you some tricks that'll blow your mind. Let me paint you a picture of what's really happening inside your car right now. Studies have shown that the average car interior is actually dirtier than a public toilet seat. Yeah, you heard that right. Your steering wheel alone has about 700 different types of bacteria living on it at any given moment, way more than what's on a typical toilet handle. Think about everything you touch throughout the day. Gas pumps, shopping carts, door handles, your phone, and then you get in your car and transfer all of that directly onto your steering wheel, gear shift, and door handles. Add in the food crumbs that fall into every crack, the dust that settles on every surface, the moisture that gets trapped in the carpets, and you've basically created a perfect breeding ground for all kinds of nasty stuff. But here's what gets me fired up. Cleaning your car interior the right way isn't just about making it pretty, it's about creating a healthier environment for you and everyone who rides with you. Now before we dive into the actual cleaning process, let me tell you about a detailer I met last year who completely changed how I think about car interiors. This guy has been in the business for over 20 years, working on everything from beat-up daily drivers to luxury cars worth more than most houses, and he told me something that stuck with me. He said the difference between someone who cleans their car and a professional detailer isn't the products they use or even the tools, it's the system. Professionals follow a specific order, a precise method that ensures nothing gets missed and everything gets done efficiently. Most people just spray some cleaner around and wipe stuff down randomly, but that's why their cars never look truly clean. Today, I'm giving you that exact system, the professional approach that turns a dirty disaster into a showroom masterpiece. Here's where we start, and this is going to surprise you. We don't start cleaning anything yet. The very first step is removing absolutely everything from your car. I'm talking everything. Floor mats, trash, that gym bag that's been in your trunk for 3 months, the loose change, the receipt stuffed in the door pockets, every single item that isn't bolted down needs to come out.
Why?
Because you can't deep clean around clutter, and you need to see what you're actually working with. When I did this to my own car last month, I found things I forgot I even owned, a missing phone charger, $23 in change, about 15 pens that don't work, and enough French fries under the seats to feed a small army. It's honestly shocking what accumulates over time, and getting it all out gives you a completely blank canvas to work with. Now comes the part that most people skip but professionals never do. Vacuuming, and I mean really vacuuming, not just a quick pass with a weak handheld. You want a powerful vacuum, preferably one with different attachments, because we're going deep into places you've probably never cleaned before. Start with the seats, and here's the pro move. Use your hand to brush the fabric in different directions while you vacuum. This lifts up dirt and debris that's been pressed down into the fibers from people sitting on them day after day. Get into every seam, every crease, every fold where crumbs and dirt love to hide. Move the seats forward and backward to access areas you normally can't reach. I discovered that the space where the seat meets the backrest is like a black hole for stuff, and when I really dug in there with a vacuum, I couldn't believe what came out. The floor is where things get really interesting. Pull up those floor mats and set them aside because we'll deal with those separately. Now vacuum the actual carpet underneath, and pay special attention to the areas under the pedals and around the center console. Use the crevice tool to get into the tight spaces between the seat rails and the transmission tunnel. Here's something wild. Tilt the vacuum nozzle at different angles because dirt doesn't just sit on top of the carpet, it works its way down into the fibers and gets trapped. Professional detailers will actually use a stiff brush to agitate the carpet first, loosening everything up before vacuuming, and this simple step makes a massive difference. The amount of dirt that comes up is honestly disgusting but also satisfying in the weirdest way. Don't forget the door pockets and all those little storage compartments scattered throughout your car. These spots are like magnets for old receipts, sticky wrappers, and mystery grime, and they need to be completely emptied and vacuumed out. The center console, that area between the front seats, is usually a disaster zone of spilled drinks, crumbs, and dust, so remove any cup holder inserts if they come out and vacuum every inch. Pro tip that changed my life. Use a soft paintbrush or detailing brush to sweep dust and debris out of tight spaces and vents before you vacuum. Those air vents on your dashboard collect an insane amount of dust, and brushing them out before vacuuming ensures you're not just moving dirt around. Now let's talk about those floor mats because they deserve special attention. Take them outside, shake them out vigorously, and then really inspect them. If they're rubber mats, this is easy. Spray them down with an all-purpose cleaner or even just soap and water, scrub them with a stiff brush, rinse them off, and let them dry completely before putting them back in the car. But if you have carpet mats, we need a different approach. Vacuum them thoroughly on both sides, then use a carpet cleaner or upholstery cleaner and a brush to work the solution into any stains or dirty areas. The key here is not to soak them completely because they take forever to dry and can get moldy. Work in sections, scrub, blot up the dirty solution with a clean towel, and repeat until the water runs clear. I've seen mats that looked beyond saving come back to life with this method. Here's where the real transformation begins: cleaning the upholstery and surfaces. Before you spray anything anywhere, you need to know what materials you're working with because using the wrong cleaner can actually damage your interior. Fabric seats need an upholstery cleaner, leather seats need a leather-specific cleaner and conditioner, and vinyl or plastic surfaces need an all-purpose cleaner that won't leave residue. Read your car's manual if you're not sure what you're dealing with, because I've heard horror stories of people using harsh chemicals on leather and ending up with cracked, dried-out seats that looked worse than before. Let's start with fabric seats because that's what most people have. Get yourself a quality upholstery cleaner, spray it onto the fabric, but don't drench it, just enough to work with, and then use a brush with soft to medium bristles to scrub in circular motions. You're trying to lift the dirt out of the fibers without damaging them. Work in small sections so the cleaner doesn't dry before you can wipe it away. Here's the professional secret. After scrubbing, use a clean microfiber towel to blot and absorb the dirty cleaner. Don't rub it in, blot it up, and you'll literally see the dirt transferring from the seat to the towel. For stubborn stains like coffee or soda, you might need to repeat this process 2 or 3 times, but the results are absolutely worth it. I had a mystery stain on my passenger seat that I thought was permanent, and after 3 rounds of this method, it completely disappeared. If you've got leather seats, you're in for a treat because cleaning leather properly makes your car feel 10 times more luxurious. First, vacuum the seats to remove any loose dirt because you don't want to scrub grit into the leather and scratch it. Then use a leather cleaner, which is usually a gentle pH-balanced formula that won't strip the natural oils from the leather. Apply it to a soft microfiber cloth, not directly to the seat, and wipe down the entire surface using gentle circular motions. You'll be amazed at how much dirt comes off even if the seats looked clean to begin with. After cleaning, leather needs to be conditioned, and this is the step most people skip. Leather conditioner keeps the material soft, prevents cracking, and adds a protective layer. Apply it sparingly with a clean cloth, let it soak in for a few minutes, and then buff away any excess. Your seats will feel buttery smooth and smell incredible. Now let's tackle the dashboard, center console, and all those plastic and vinyl surfaces. Here's where a lot of people make a huge mistake. They use those shiny spray products that make everything look wet and glossy. Professional detailers hate that stuff because it attracts dust like crazy, leaves fingerprints all over the place, and can actually make surfaces sticky over time. Instead, use a simple all-purpose cleaner diluted with water, spray it onto a microfiber cloth, not directly onto the surface, and wipe everything down. For textured surfaces like the dashboard, use a soft brush to get into all the little grooves and crevices where dust hides. The steering wheel, especially if it's leather or leather-wrapped, needs the same gentle cleaning approach as leather seats. Think about how often you touch that thing with dirty hands, and you'll understand why it needs serious attention. The center console and door panels are fingerprint magnets, especially if they have any kind of glossy finish, and cleaning them properly requires a gentle touch. Spray your cleaner on the cloth, wipe down the surface, and then immediately follow up with a dry microfiber cloth to buff away any streaks or residue. For stubborn sticky spots, like where a drink spilled months ago and dried into a crusty mess, you might need to let the cleaner sit for a minute to break down the grime before wiping. I found that a little patience here goes a long way, and rushing this step just means you'll have to redo it later. Windows are next, and this is one area where the difference between amateur and professional really shows. Most people spray window cleaner directly on the glass and smear it around with paper towels, which leaves streaks and lint everywhere. Here's the pro method. Use a quality glass cleaner and spray it onto a clean microfiber cloth. Then wipe the window in straight lines, either vertical or horizontal, not circles. Do the inside and outside of every window, and don't forget the top edge of the windows that sit inside the door when they're rolled down. That edge collects a grimy film that transfers onto the glass every time you roll the window up and down. For the windshield, clean both sides thoroughly because any film or residue on the inside can create glare when the sun hits it at certain angles, which is not just annoying but actually dangerous. Here's something most people completely overlook: the rear view mirror and all the little trim pieces around it. Dust settles on top of the mirror housing, fingerprints smudge the mirror itself, and the adjustment mechanisms get grimy over time. A quick wipe down with your all-purpose cleaner makes a bigger visual difference than you'd think. Same goes for the gear shift, door handles, window switches, and every other little detail. These are the touches that separate a decent cleaning job from a professional level detail. Now let's get into the really satisfying stuff: deep cleaning the carpets. Even after vacuuming, your carpets probably still have ground-in dirt, stains, and odors trapped in the fibers. This is where a carpet cleaner or extractor really shines, but if you don't have one, you can still get amazing results with some elbow grease and the right technique. Spray a carpet cleaning solution onto the floor, let it sit for a minute to break down the dirt, then scrub with a stiff brush using overlapping strokes. You're trying to agitate the fibers and lift the dirt to the surface. After scrubbing, use clean towels to blot up as much moisture as possible. The more liquid you can remove now, the faster everything will dry and the less chance of mildew developing. Here's a game-changing tip for really stubborn carpet stains. Mix equal parts white vinegar and water in a spray bottle, add a tiny drop of dish soap, and spray this mixture on the stain. Let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, scrub with a brush, and blot it up. Vinegar is a natural deodorizer and stain remover, and it's way cheaper than fancy products. I used this on a grease stain that had been on my carpet for over a year, and it came out completely. The smell of vinegar goes away once everything dries, leaving your carpet fresh and clean. Let me share something that'll save you a ton of frustration. Make sure everything is completely dry before you put your floor mats back in and close up the car. Damp carpets and upholstery can develop mold and mildew within 24 to 48 hours, especially in humid climates, and once that happens, you're dealing with a whole new nightmare. Leave your car doors open if possible, run the ventilation system, or even point a fan at the interior to speed up drying. I've heard horror stories of people cleaning their cars, closing everything up, and coming back the next day to a musty smell that wouldn't go away. Don't be that person. Now here's the secret weapon that professional detailers use to make interiors smell absolutely amazing. Odor eliminators, not air fresheners. There's a huge difference. Air fresheners just mask smells by covering them up with perfume, but odor eliminators actually neutralize the molecules that cause bad smells. You can buy commercial odor eliminators, but here's a cheap trick that works incredibly well. Leave an open box of baking soda in your car overnight. Baking soda absorbs odors naturally, and by morning, your car will smell neutral and fresh. For a more pleasant scent, you can add a few drops of essential oil to a cotton ball and tuck it under a seat or in a vent. Let's talk about those hard-to-reach places that separate good cleaning from great detailing. The area around and under the seats is a black hole for debris, and getting in there requires moving the seats all the way forward, all the way back, and really working the vacuum into every corner. The seat belt buckles and the slots they click into get incredibly grimy from constant use, and a quick wipe with a cloth dampened with all-purpose cleaner makes them look brand new. The seat belts themselves are fabric and absorb dirt, sweat, and oils from your clothes, so pulling them all the way out and wiping them down with upholstery cleaner is a detail that most people never think about but makes a noticeable difference. The trunk is part of your interior too, and it deserves the same attention as the passenger cabin. Remove the cargo cover if you have one, take out the spare tire and all your emergency equipment, and vacuum every inch of the trunk floor and walls. If you have carpet back there, treat it the same way you treated the floor carpets. If it's plastic or rubber, wipe it down with all-purpose cleaner.